Okay, so here we go. I haven't showered yet, so.
Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah.
What time is Mincha? Myra.
Hold on a second.
Naftali, you ask all questions.
It's not a luach. We're not a luach.
We're trying.
No. We're doing Myra. We're doing Myra here. It wasn't a luach.
Okay, fine.
Look on the Maizmanim, look on the calendar, look on the shul where you're davening.
I can't hear you.
It's the same song.
One wouldn't know it's an hour before Rosh Hashanah.
It is unbelievable. It's just the way we're going to start the year. I hope it's the way we end the year.
That's what I'm going to do. I just remember.
I'm starting it with a white shirt.
We're ending the year.
I think I remember when I called him. I spoke to him today. It wasn't about songs.
But Aaron, if we can end the year like this, we're going to start differently next week.
Yeah.
This is the way it should be.
I'm ready to roll. No.
Okay. Anyways, so I don't even remember what daf. Yesterday's daf was lametes, right? Today is mem. No, we discussed that already. Okay, so
what's today's daf?
Today's daf is mem, right? But we're halfway through mem.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not going to chazer now. We're just going to get rolling. Yeah, we left off at the 2 dots on mem amud beis. Yeah, the second 2 dots. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines down from the wide lines. Yes. Yeah, mem amud beis. Bama Rava.
There's nothing but the ladies.
Yeah, we need a mute.
Yes,
please.
we're good.
When we buy Rav Huna, they asked the Shal, "Ma olayim razman b'Rosh Hashanah v'Yom Kippur?" Right? Another Inyana Diyam. Should you say Shechayanu on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur? Kirin de mizman lizman asi. Since it comes from zman lizman, meaning it's not every day that we have Rosh Hashanah. So therefore, Amrina, you should say Shechayanu. That's what Shechayanu is. That we're happy that we lived another year. Right? I just lost the place. Since it's not called a rega, we don't say whether you should make Shechayanu because it's not one of the shalosh regalim. So lo have you didn't have the answer. Ki asaybe Rav Yehuda amar hano akra chadata akara akara chadata nami aminazman. He says I even say Shechayanu on a vegetable on a squash because a squash is an annual. So therefore, I make it on that too. So, Amarle. So he said to him, "Rishus loy kami baili." I'm not asking whether it's a rishus, right? Rishus loy kami baili. I'm not asking rishus ki kami baili chayva mai. Am I required to say shechayanu? Yes, I could say shechayanu if I want, but are we required to? Amarle Rav Shmuel Amritav. Ein Amr Zman Ela b'shalish regalim. Rav and Shmuel both say that we only say shechayanu for the yomim tovim. So basically, they asked the kasha and them 10 chelik l'shiva v'gam l'shmoyim. All right, so the pasuk says you give a chelik to 7 and to 8. So what does that mean? Rabbi Eliezer Aimer, Shiva elu zayim bereshis. 7 is referring to the 7 days of bereshis. Shmoina elu ches yimei mila, and 8 is referring to the 8 days of the bris. Rabbi Shua Aimer, Shiva elu Shiva is yimei Pesach. That's 7 days Pesach. Shmoina elu Shmoina yimei Chag. It's 8 days of Yom Tov. Ukashu Aimer v'gam l'Rabbi Satzeres. When the pasuk says also v'gam l'shmoina, the gam is coming to the rabbis at Seres Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, right? So he clearly holds that you do say my love. This man is not referring to Shechayanu. So you say loy lebracha. It's just that you're supposed to make a bracha. Yeah. Hachanam mistavas. We say that's also as far as this archetype is zman kol shiva mi ika. Right? Is there a zman for? Do we say Shechayanu all 7 days? Right, so lachar means bracha, to make a bracha on the yom tov, not zman. So when it says alei kasha, di lem mevarach inna mevarach lemachol yom aichara. Can you tell her to?
Already there's a share going on.
Right. So, do you have Shechayanu all shiva? So we say yes, you do, because if you forget to make Shechayanu the first day yom tov, which is the way we paskin, right? You forget to make a Shechayanu on the first day yom tov, you make it on the second day, third day, etc., etc. Mikal makar. Yes, mikama could be in kais, but still we need a kais, right? You can't just make Shechayanu. You need to make Shechayanu on a kais. Why don't we say that's a proof to Rav Nachman's man oimer afilu k'shuk? Somebody can make Shechayanu even in the shuk.
Yeah, but realistically, we don't make. How many people make a bracha on the second or third or fourth day of Pesach?
It's true, but you have that option. If you're a forgetful person, I get the shiloh once in a while. A guy forgets to make Shechayanu on a lulav and esrog would be the most.
So he makes it the next day, but to make it on the 5th day or the 6th day,
you got to be a really forgetful guy, right?
And how often does it happen? Once in a lifetime.
You still have. No, you're right, but you still have. But the point is, but you can theoretically still make it. So since it's considered in the ballpark, right? So it's a right. Go ahead.
David.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And you have
Internet is out.
food and wine the next day. For some reason, you have no food and wine tonight. But tomorrow you're getting food and. Did you make it? What? It's out? Okay, fine.
What? Couldn't hear you so clear.
No, I understand what you're saying. That it's possible that you don't have food and wine tonight.
Right, and you're getting tomorrow.
The third, the fourth, the fifth day.
So should you make on the chag, or should you make when you have a kois? When you have.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see about it. Yeah. So, whatever it's the right or wrong, you make it with a shuk. So you say, it's talking about where you had a kois, and then if you had a kois, you can make Shechayanu. So hatina chatzeres, that's good. Hatina chatzeres. Yeah, he's here. Hatina chatzeres, that's good for Shavuos, for Rosh Hashanah, Yomi, for Rosh Hashanah. That's good for Shavuos and Rosh Hashanah because you can make a bracha, right? Yomi Kippurim heichi yavid. Right, Yom Kippur. How do you do it? If you make a bracha and you drink it, since you said Shechayanu, so you're already makabel Yom Tov, which is, by the way, a common mistake that women make by Yom Kippur, in case we forget to say it. So women bench licht at home, and then they drive to shul or get driven to shul. They bench licht, they say Shechayanu by Yom Kippur. Then they want to go to Kol Nidre. You can't do that. Once you say Shechayanu, you can't make a Tanai. All these tonight, you want to make a tonight to make light candles on a Stama Shabbos. That's a whole thing. But you can't. Certainly, once you say Shechayanu, you can no longer do any malachos. So how do you do that? You make Shechayanu in Yom Kippur, right? And you can't drink. Yeah. So then, what is it? When I lost the place. It's also in the drink. Did you make Havdalah, right? So he said, I'm sorry, in Badilna I did. Yeah? Meaning once you make Havdalah, so then it's once you make anything that differentiates you from the previous day, so then you're done. So make a bracha on the kais and don't drink the kais, leave it. No, we know that you make a bracha on a Hapayra Pri Agaf and you gotta taste. Give it to a child. Dilma asila misrach, and we hold the halach is not like Rav Acha, because perhaps the kid is going to learn from you to learn how to do something wrong. Which is an interesting thing here. This Rashi says he doesn't know the source that Rav Acha holds that you're allowed to give kids isurim, right? So he doesn't say, yeah.
But don't they do that in some shuls? Maybe they give it Friday night.
What about a bris? Right? What about a right? So what about a bris? So look at the taisus. There's very important taisus here. Dilma asila misrach. Yeah, I'll just read it quickly. Amar Rabbeinu Shmuel dafka gavi zman shu kavua chashina dilma asila misrach. That's only by zman, which is set every Yom Tov, every Yom Kippur. You say zman. So you make a Shechayanu and then you give the wine to the kid. Then you have a problem. Just happens every once in a while. Like Hashana, we're not afraid that he's going to be misra because he knows that it was a once in a lifetime thing. Not a lifetime, but very rare. They made a chuppah during a fast day. Now talk about a way to make a wedding with takonis, right? Make it on a fast day. Give out no shmorg, no anything, right? You got to give the wine to the kid. That might be an eitzah. Yeah.
Could you have music?
No, you're right. You wouldn't be. You should better not to have music either till the night. Yeah.
Didn't we have this somewhere else?
That's true. Did we have what someplace else?
This concept of giving the.
Well, yeah. The what?
The concept of giving the kid something to drink and it's bad chinuch. I just remember it recently somewhere.
That what did you?
No, this Tosos was talking about whether or not it's bad chinuch to give the kid to drink in shul specifically, like for
I don't know.
Kiddush.
I hear. I don't remember. Okay, let's see. But anyway, so that's that. So my havi Allah lamaisa. What's his din? Sharu Rabbanon Rav Yemar Saba Kamed Rav Chisda b'Mayli Yomid the Reish Shata, they sent him on Erev of the Erev Rosh Hashanah. Amar le Zil Chazi Heichi Yavid Uvda. Go, he said. So they sent Rav Yemar to Rav Chisda on Erev Rosh Hashanah, so they should get Meiser Rav, see what he does. Does he make Shechayanu or not? Right? So Ta Amalon, and then come back. Amalon Kichazin, come tell us what you. I'm sorry, Ta Amalon, come back and tell us Kichazia. So when he came back, when he came there to Rav Chisda, Amrlei Deluyu L'Rativa Rav Salah Beduchta. It's a wet, something wet, right? Is something that's soft for him. Meaning what happened here is that he chapped that he came here to spy on him. Since he came there to spy on him, so well, we'll get to it in a minute why it's so negay, right? So Aisulei Kosa de Chamra, they brought him a kos wine, Kaddish for Amras man, and he made Kiddush and he said Zman. And Allah is Amras man for Rosh Hashanah Uva Yom Kippur, Ve'ilchas Zman Amri Afilu B'Shuk. We make Shechayanu on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, and we even say Shechayanu in Shuk. So the reason why the Gemara has to say that he chap, yeah. I guess if he knows he's not going to be able to do it al kos later, right? So no, but the reason why he had to say, Rav Chisda said he had to know that he was there to see what he did, is because then he knew that Rav Chisda, that the Rav Yemar was there to see what he did. So meaning he could have done it and maybe he was just being machmir on himself, he didn't hold it. But now that he realized that he's coming there to help, to find out what it is, and he still made the Kiddush, then it's clear that he held that you do have to make the Kiddush. Right? That you have to make Kiddush. I'm sorry, you have to make Shechayanu. Fine. By the way, if you're wondering who's talking, we have the guest from Cleveland over here. So that's who I keep talking to. It's not just Naftali. It's a Gershon. Okay, anyways. Fine.
This is the Gemara saying, only want to bring a ride from the Meiser. Yeah. The Bala Meiser knows it's happening.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
right. That's what it sounds. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, if you don't, maybe because maybe he was machmir on himself. You can just give it there. Yeah.
The Gemara is saying there's no other reason. The Gemara is saying.
Fine, 100%. V'amar Rav Kiyavina be Rav Huna ibaylon. Barbei Rav the Yosef b'tanis v'mayla Shabbat. Ma'al shlume. Right. Somebody, Barbei Rav, a young Talmud Chacham who's fasting on a Friday. What should he do? Should he finish his fast or not? So Lo Yabiyad didn't have the answer. I actually was dealing with a guy just before this. He's still fasting from this morning. And he wants to keep fasting. I told him not to, and he's making me crazy. Yes, no, he's not hungry. He's this. You don't go. I mean, it's a mamish this sugya, right? Even though really many poskim say you should fast later than chatzos today. So okay, Lo Yaviyad, he didn't want to know what to answer. Also, the commander of Yehuda, but Lo Yaviyad, Rav Yehuda didn't know either. Meaning, should you force the person to break his fast before Shabbos? Amar Rav Nechsi Anan, the Tanya Tesvav Shechaliyas b'Shabbos, when Tisha B'av falls out on Shabbos. And when Erev Tisha B'av falls out on Shabbos, right? You eat everything and drink whatever you want. And you could eat even the biggest Suda. But if Tisha B'av falls out on a Friday, there's also negayah to this year because Asara B'Tevis is going to be on a Friday, a very rare occurrence, right? So yes, we do fast. Well, you're jumping to the gun from the Gemara. Right now, the Gemara is going to declare it. So it's a Chaliyas Tisha B'av Erev Shabbos. If Tisha B'av falls on Erev Shabbos, like a beitza, you bring him an egg, v'aychal, and you eat it Kadesh L'Yikonis Shabbos K'Shu Me'una, so that you go into Shabbos when you're hungry. So you get a break. You actually get to eat even before Shabbos starts. If Tisha B'av will fall out on a Friday, which it does not.
We don't pass it that way. Like I remember correctly. I think my bar mitzvah was the same thing. It came out on Erev Shabbos, and I had to fast till Mama's Shabbos.
Yes.
So I don't think we pass it that way, correct?
Correct. We're not going to pass it that way. But right now the Gemara is saying that. So Tanya,
this is Tisha B'av, no?
This is Tisha B'av, right? But if you Tisha B'av,
no, but Tisha, but right.
Doesn't have no Tisha B'av doesn't fall on Friday, right? Correct. We don't have it anymore.
Sometimes you can make early Shabbos and break it early.
Whatever. Let's see. Tanya. Let's see. Tanya Amar Rav Yehuda. Pamachasinu Yoshim Fnei Rav Akiva. One time we were sitting in front of Rav Akiva, Tisha B'av Shechaliyas B'Erev Shabbos. It was Tisha B'av that fell out on a Friday. And they brought him a beitza that was rolled, literally means it was cooked a little bit, v'gama, v'loy melech, and he swallowed it without salt. Not because he wanted it. He was showing the Talmidim the halacha is that you got to eat something because you can't go into Shabbos when you're hungry. For Rabbi Yossi, it sounds like it has to be an achiva, but he didn't put on salt. He didn't want it to be geshmak. Yeah, I think he has to make a bracha. Yeah, I think so. For Rabbi Yossi, Misana umashlim. Rabbi Yossi disagrees. No, you have to finish your fast and complete it till Friday. Some of them Rabbi Yossi on Friday till Friday night. Some of them Rabbi Yossi aren't you? This is an interesting raya from Rabbi Yossi. Yeah, aren't you moided to me on Tisha B'Av that falls out on Sunday? You have to stop fasting by Shkia, right? We had it the last 2 years. Tisha B'Av falls out on a Sunday. You stop eating by Shkia, even though you're cutting your eating on Shabbos short. So if you stop your eating then, so why can't you continue not eating till Friday? Meaning it's not, you don't have to be eating at every second of Shabbos. So Friday should be the same thing, right? So, what? Meaning, what's wrong with fasting for the first part of Shabbos? What's wrong with going into fasting? If you're fasting on, what you're asking is going to be the Gemara's kasha. Right? But they told him what's to go in when you're hungry and going out when you're hungry. Right? When you're leaving Shabbos and Tisha B'Av is on Sunday, so you could stop at Shkia because you're full from the whole day, right? But to go into Friday night, you haven't eaten the whole day, so it's not proper for Shabbos to go in hungry. Meaning you can't bring a proof from Shabbos going out to Shabbos going with. Yeah, I think I read that wrong. It says Amr He said Aval. He said yes, it's true. So then Amr Lahem Mali Lekanis Bakashumuna Mali Lotzisman. What's the difference to going in and what's the difference in going out? So they answered back. Amr no, there is a big difference to going in and going out. When you're leaving Shabbos, you're still full from the whole Shabbos. You enjoyed your Shabbos, right? I imagine most people don't eat so much the last 45 minutes of Shabbos that they're so stuffed from Shabbos, right? Okay, so Amr Hula. Sula said, what? Correct. Well,
doesn't it depend on how good Shalashudis is?
I guess, but yeah, it really depends. That's true, but it really depends on how much you ate for Shabbos Suda, right? Yeah, Ula says Allah is like Rabbi Yossi. So Gemara says, and we have dinner Rabbi Yossi. Do we really pass on like Rabbi Yossi that you finish the fast until Friday night? Ramino ask you stira and guys when taina salatzibur, but Rosh Chodesh b'Chanukah v'Purim. We don't make a gezeir of a tainus, not on Rosh Chodesh, not on Chanukah, not on Purim. But if they started, you're not mafsik. Now that means that they used to make a bunch of tanesim in a row, like usually because there was no rain. So if they started a series of tanesim and it happened to have gone into Purim or Chanukah, then you have to, then you're not mafsik. Even though Rabbi Gamliel says you're not supposed to be mafsik, but you don't finish off the fast, meaning you have to break the fast a little bit before a little earlier than normal. And the same thing with Tisha B'Av that falls out on Erev Shabbos.
You have to eat before Shkia.
You got it right. Maybe. You
have to break the fast.
Yeah. Well, it's not much. It's two different things. Okay, let's see. Tanya. Yeah. The Tanya la'acha patira se'shur Rabbi Shimon Gamliel after the patira Rabbi Shimon Gamliel nichnas Rabbi Yeshua lahafer es dvaro. Rabbi Yeshua went in to remove his words, meaning he wanted to disagree with Rabbi Shimon Gamliel. Amar Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri araglav. So Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri stood up, made a machav. Amar chazi ana the basa reisha gufa. I see that the body goes after the head, right? The basa reisha gufa azal. The guf goes after the head. Kol yom Rabbi Gamliel kavanu Allah k'moiseh. When Rabbi Gamliel was around, we said Allah is like him. You want to be mevatel Rabbi Gamliel's words and go Rabbi Yossi? Yeshua ain't shaymin lecha. We're not going to listen to you. Shekar nifa Allah Rabbi Gamliel. Allah is like Rabbi Gamliel. And nobody fought with him. So therefore, the Allah is like Rabbi Shimon Gamliel. So the Gemara, so whatever it is you see from here that we don't do like Rabbi Yossi, we do like Rabbi Gamliel, and we do stop the fast from the day. One answers, Rabbi Gamliel Ovid Rabbi Gamliel. When Rabbi Gamliel was around in his dar, then we do like Rabbi Gamliel. But Rabbi Yossi Ovid Rabbi Yossi. When the dar is Rabbi Yossi, then we do like Rabbi Yossi. What?
I have a mice exactly like this, but I can't say. There's no time.
Okay, so hold that thought, I guess, for a couple days.
Yeah.
Fine. With Darius Rabbi Gamliel, Abed Karam Gamliel, in the Dar of Gamliel, did they do like Rabbi Gamliel? Tanya Amar Rabbi Lazar Bar Tzadok Ani, he used to be a son of Ben Binyamin. I was from the sons of son of Ben Binyamin, right? From the Shevet. Pam Achas Chal Tisha B'Av Liyos b'Shabbos. One time Tisha B'Av fell on Shabbos with the Chinu Lachar Shabbos, and of course we pushed Tisha B'Av to Sunday. The Saninu Boy. And we fasted, but we did not finish off our fast. Why? They had a family Yom Tif on Yud Av. Yud Av was a family Yom Tif, and because it was a family Yom Tif, they didn't finish it. Time of the Yom Tif, Erev Yom Tif Mashlimin. It's mashmid. It's only because Yud Av was a Yom Tif. Had it been an Erev
that
Yom
family
Tif,
holiday took precedence over Tisha B'Av?
it's I know. Yeah. It seems like a family holiday that was accepted.
Can I make
It
one of
wasn't
those?
Tisha though. It was a
What?
mitzvah. It was a
So
mitzvah.
really,
It wasn't
Rashi
Tisha
says
B'Av.
it was right. It's not on Tisha B'Av. It's on Yud Av. So they had the goyrel for the carbon eitzim on Yud Av in the days of Ezra, and that was their Yom Tif, and they had that Yom Tif, meaning Yud Av was their day to donate the wood. So therefore, it was a family Yom Tif. So therefore, on a normal year is no problem. It's only when they pushed it off from Tisha B'Av to Yud Av. So the Gemara is saying it's only mashlim then when that day is the Yom Tif. Mashlim if it would be Erev Yom Tif, then they would be mashlim because they'll still get they still can get in all the fast. So Ravina Shani Yom Tif Shel Teverim B'Toshim Misana by Shoyes Mashlimin by because you already misanin hours and then you mashlim by Arvius Mashlimin by you. I'm sorry, Mishtoshim Misanin by Shoyes since you have a tiny Shoyes on it, right? So what? Meaning not everybody eats, right? It's not like people fast anyways for a few hours a day. So why not fast for a couple of more hours, right? So mashlima by arvius. So therefore you can be mashlim with the evening. You can go into the evening too. Shabbos, but Shabbos you're not allowed to fast at all, which is an interesting sugi to do because tomorrow many of us are going to fast for many, many hours, right? Ein mashlimin ba arvius, then there you're not supposed to. Shabbos, we don't even want you to go a couple of hours of Shabbos in fasting. Some Rabbi Yosef, lo shmi'ali hashmaitza. We had this many times where Rabbi Yosef forgot his Torah and Abaye reminded him. Some Rabbi Yosef, lo shmi'ali hashmaitza. I never heard this, right? Yeah, that the halach is like Rabbi Yosef. So Amarle Abaye, At Amr Nehalan, you told it to us. Amr Nehalan, you told us on that. Ain't goes in Tainus Alatzibah Rosh Chodesh. He said like that brisa that we don't make Zera on Tzibur on Rosh Chodesh, Purim, Chanukah, Marina, Lo Amar Rav Yehuda Marav, Zu Divir Meir. And you said that's what a mayor holds. Shamar Mishim Rabbi Gamliel, who says Mishim Rabbi Gamliel. The Chacham say you fast and you mashim. My lava kulu, is it not going on everything, including Shabbos and that? So we say Chanukah Purim. It's only going on Chanukah and Purim. Hachanam Mistavra. We say that's a svara too. Kulu. Because if you say that it's going on everything, right? If it's going on everything, and that even on Friday night, Rabbi asked this Shaila from Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda didn't have the answer. Why wouldn't Rabbi Yehuda have the answer? Right? If the Chachamim say, right? The says, according to you, that the halach is that you do fast and you complete the fast. Rabbi asked the son when he didn't answer him. Why didn't he answer him? No. Must be the reason why he didn't answer him is because once was before he heard the memory, one was after he heard the memory. Here too. One was going on before he heard it, one was after. When he asked him, Rabbi Yehuda, about it, he didn't know. So it was before he heard it. Yeah, so Dorosh Mar Zutra, here's the Maskana here, Akiva, right? Dorosh Mar Zutra, Mishmei Rahuna, Halacha Misanin Umashlimin. The halacha is that we fast and we're mashlim on a Friday, which is exactly what we're going to do.
We don't make early Shabbos.
I don't know. I don't remember if we make the early Shabbos.
Why can't you make early Shabbos and make Shabbos in early?
See, Tais is interesting. Look at the Tais. Hilchos Misano Mashlim Pirish Im Yirtza Lahashlim. If you want to be mashlim, the Shari Lahashlim. The boy who is Shari Lahashlim, like, because his question is it mutter to be mashlim? Doesn't sound like from this that you're mechuyev to be mashlim. Okay, so Hadron Allah B'chom Arum. We can do 2 more minutes. We can do. It goes fast. So now we start the new Perek. Misha now we're talking about if somebody forcibly got removed from his techum. Let's say a guy took him out of the techum, right? He kidnapped him and he brought him out of his Erev techum. Or a ruach ra, or it's a ruach ra that took him out, meaning he went a little meshuggah and he roamed on out of the house. Ein lo ela dalet amos. He only gets dalet amos for where he's dropped. If they bring him back to his city, kilu lo yotz, as if he didn't leave, and he can walk the whole city. Let's say they bring him into another city. How
is this different from someone who did it on purpose? Meaning, let's say I walked out of my tchum.
No, then you did an isser. Then you did an isser.
But I still get dalet. Do I get dalet amos or do I not?
You get dalet amos, but that's it. No more than that.
And this guy only gets dalet amos.
No, but what? No, you're right. But the nafkamina is if they bring him back in. If they bring him back into the city, right? So then he can walk. He can continue walking with the rest of the city. So let's say they brought him to another city and they put him in a deer. What do you say? Okay, so Nisanu b'dir b'sar. If they put him into a deer or a sar, or a corral or something like that, they hold you can go to the whole deer or sar. You only get dalet amos. In our Bangla Khan, this happens sometimes because we're near Kem Moganav, and some guys don't realize that it's added a techum. So once in a blue moon, guys walk Shabbos afternoon, and then they come in. They come into the Bangla Khan, and then that's it. The shaila is can they walk the whole Bangla Khan because there's a mice that's surrounded by fences, or can they only get 4 amos, right? That's a whole shaila. I don't remember how you come out, but if they only get 4 amos, you call them into a bungalow first and say, "Hey, buddy, come in here a second." Then you say, "By the way, don't move." Right? You only get 4 amos. Okay, but anyways, Maisa Shabo mi Plandasrin v'fligos v'nosabiyah. There was a Maisa that they came from this city called Plandarsin, and they were on the boat when Shabbos started, and then v'fligos v'nosabiyah, and then the boat left. Right? So they were in the boat. And then the boat left, and the boat went out of the techum. That's where Rashi says the cases. Walked throughout the whole boat. They didn't move from dalet amos on the boat because they already added their techum. Right, that was the issue. They wanted to be strict with themselves. One time, the boat didn't get in until after dark. So they asked Ram, can we go off the boat? Meaning, were we in the techum of the city or not? You are mutter shekvar yisi mistakel. I already looked at all my the constellations, whatever. He figured it out from the stars. But we were in the techum of the city before it got dark, so therefore we have a din of being part of the city. Okay, so Zokti Gemara, we got a little bit of a gadata. 3 things make a person to do averes on his own das and on the das of his owner, which really means his creator. Right? Hashem, right? They could force you. If somebody gets a stupidity in his head, right? And if somebody's so poor so that it can make him sugar and do things that he doesn't expect to do, right? That's anybody who does financial shenanigans. We all sit and yell at them. See here that I don't know if I'm right making the tushta, but you see that it makes them poor. Poor can make you do averis. What's the difference? Let me buy rachmil out to have rachmanis. You got to have rachmanis on these things. It's a good gemara before Rosh Hashanah. Gimel ain't rayim pnei Gehenim. 3 don't see the face of Gehenim. Elo ain't tikduke aniyas. So if somebody is an ani, he doesn't go to Gehenim, right? Somebody who has stomach problems, radishes, and people that have debt issues, that the debt collectors are always after them, so they don't go to Gehenna. Okay, it said the Yesham is even somebody who has a bad wife, he doesn't go to Gehenna, right? Because he's all of these are living the Gehenna on this world. Since they're living
does his wife go?
What?
Does his wife go?
What do you mean? He's sending him on a one-way trip. What are you talking?
Let's behave ourselves over Rosh Hashanah, but you're right. L'chayra, yeah. I don't know why she should go to.
I'm just saying we're talking about the guy, but what about the?
It doesn't say, right. You're right. It doesn't say that she's bad to him. Doesn't mean she's bad. I don't know. Maybe doesn't mean she's whatever it is. Right. So Yesham afmi sheyesh lo isharo. He has a bad wife. The idach and the other shita isharo mitzvah legarsha. Not just divorce her. If you have a bad wife, so divorce her. Why are you staying with? Why are you sticking around with her? The idach, right? It's a mitzvah to be megash. That's what he's saying, right? It's not like mutter. It's a mitzvah to divorce her. The idach.
How come no one every?
The idach simnin the ksubasa meruba. The other shita says no. Sometimes her ksuba is so much, it's just not worth divorcing her. Inami Isle Bonamina, he has some children from her, but and he's not gonna divorce her. So who cares about us? That somebody should be makabel their punishments. If somebody gets punishments, and it's when the Gemara is saying you're not going to go to Gehenna, why? You makabel the punishments ba'ahava. If you makabel the punishments ba'ahava, so then you're not going to go to Gehenna. Meaning this world is going to be very bad, but your next world is going to be very fine, which is very good. Which is very good for Rosh Hashanah because everybody's sitting in davening. We really want the next world. We're not in this world for this world. We're in this world for next world. So why is everybody dying for a good life? Maybe we should die for a bad life. Are there nobody going to go for that? I'm saying, my point is, I'm not saying you should die for a bad life.
But we never daven for suffering.
No, you shouldn't die for a good life, a bad life. What I'm saying, though, is that we have to have in mind the ultimate goal, which is we're supposed to be mamlech to Rebbe Hashem. People asking all day, should I daven for my personal requests? Obviously, people have a lot of tzara, so either they should. But I'm saying davening that you, whatever, for stupidity, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to do that? If anything, it's probably better if you don't have it. Right? We just have to have a priority. What we daven for. Obviously, this year we know what's the main thing we daven for. Okay, fine. One more Gemara. Shloisha Mason Kishem Misapim. There are three people that. Shloisha Mason Kishem Misapim. Three people die while they're talking. Somebody has a stomach ache, right? And somebody who's just had a baby. Hadarkan is not exactly clear what that is. It's some sort of also some sort of stomach thing. What's the difference? To prepare the tachrichin for them. Right? So you prepare the tachrichin for them, even though they're talking. You still should prepare it for them because just because they're talking doesn't mean that they're not going to die. Okay. Either way, we should have it's been a pleasure and it's givaldic that we're together and it should be a schus for everybody that we sit and we learn Erev Yom Tif and we should have and a good year and brachos for
Good job.
Okay.
Amen. Shkaya.
Amen. Thank you.
Rabbi Stein.
Yes.
Is it a problem for me to have my shofar on the table on Shabbos? Just looks nice.
You shouldn't, because it's muksa, so you shouldn't.
What if it's on a part of the table where no one sits?
Your kids might come grab it, this, that. I wouldn't suggest that. I don't know, but you can.
Take it off the table.
Yeah, what are you saying, Perek?
Did I do Makabel Shabbos before, or we do it by?
No, you should be Makabel Shabbos before. Yes.
Give me a bag.
Okay.
Now.
All right.
Fun.
It's the 15-minute bell.
What? Yeah, we just finished this year, yeah.
What box?